My first day. This is kind of like fogging a mirror here. And when we tune into our breath and we tune into our body, we're also pausing that mind activity, that constant planning and projecting into the future or thinking about the past. And we're really allowed to come into this present moment, which is all that is ever really happening. The future, no matter how much our mind really thinks it knows what's going to happen, it does not. And no matter how much we think about the past, we can only really learn from it and then put it down and let it go. So let's pause that replaying of the past. Let's pause that thinking and projecting about the future. And let's just tune into our breath, into this present moment. When we're very present, that's when the creativity in our sacral chakra awakens. That creativity comes from a clear mind and clear space within the body. So let's just continue here for a moment to really just listen to our breath. If there's any outside noises, just keep bringing that awareness back to the sound of our breath, rolling in like the ocean tide, rolling out like the ocean tide. Continuing with this pace for another few moments. When we're on this path of living in the present moment, we're really devoting all our energy towards living fully. When we think into the future or we think into the past, we're actually missing what's right there. And what's right there in this very moment is always what life is. It's never in the future or past. I'd like to encourage you to think about an intention you'd like to set for yourself. When we're very mindful about our intention in life, then we know what we want to pay attention towards. All our motives and actions, they all work towards this intention. So take a moment, plant a seed of intention in your heart today, and say it as if you really believe it will come true or if it's alive already. And say this 3 times to yourself. Before we begin the class, I like to chant the Gayatri mantra. The Gayatri mantra dates back approximately 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. It's a call to ask the creative force that sprung up and outward the universe to illuminate and inspire our mind, body, and intellect. Om Bhurvasva Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Dehasya Dhimahi Iyo Yona Prachodya Om. We start to open our eyes here and bring ourselves back to awareness within the room. It's interesting, one of the tools to help build our sacral chakra, that creativity, is to eliminate outside sensory objects and experiences to increase our focus. Well, we're going to put that to the test. So we can start to form a hand mudra with our left hand, the Yang mudra, just bringing our pointer and thumb together. We can place that on our left thigh or leg or even lap. And we'll do our pranayama of Nadi Shodhana. You can place your pointer and middle finger at your third eye space if you want, or tuck them in. Either way, we want our thumb and our ring finger out here. Jackie, do your best with that pinky of yours. What we'll do here is we'll exhale fully and we'll block off the right nostril. We'll inhale fully through the left. Pause at the top and open the right nostril, exhaling from the right now. Inhale fully through the right. Blocking the right, opening the left, exhaling from the left. Inhale from the left. Closing the left and opening the right. We exhale fully from the right. Inhaling right. Closing your right and opening the left. Continuing now at your own pace for another few moments on your own. On your next full left exhale, we can go ahead and relax our hands down. Bring yourselves back into awareness and just notice the change here. If you need to adjust your seating posture here, we can go ahead and do so. And give your legs a rest here. Let's go ahead and do one more pranayama exercise, Kapalabhati, or skull shining breath. This is a real good one to, now that we've balanced our breath with Nadi Shodhana in the left and right nostrils, we're actually going to work with both nostrils here. So to tune back in with Kapalabhati, we reroot our sits bones here. We come to about 2/3 full of a breath, and then we just do short, quick exhales out our nostrils, and I'll demonstrate as we kind of pull in our diaphragm. So it's and I place my hand right where the diaphragm is, just as a kind of mental cue of where a lot of the work is happening. And we're going to do 3 different repetitions of it and try to go anywhere from 10 to 30 times with it. I've never gotten to 30 myself, so don't feel like you have to force yourself. It's more just finding your own pace and rhythm. It's kind of a cadence or a beat that you come for yourself. And at any time, if you feel like you're lightheaded or short of breath, just pause and tune back into the sound of your natural breath. So we'll begin by exhaling fully, and then we'll inhale about 2/3 of the way and begin. At the end of each cycle, let's just pause for a moment, regather our natural breath. Make sure our shoulders are relaxed here, jaws relaxed. We'll go ahead and begin again by inhaling about 2/3 of the way. Maybe after that second one, you start to notice a little bit of a change here. This immediately starts to awaken those nadi channels that we cleared in the first pranayama exercise, Nadi Shodhana. Well, now that our energy channels are balanced, we're going to open them up here. That's what Kapalabhati is doing, kind of preparing us for even more energy use here. Let's go ahead and do this one more time. We'll exhale fully. Inhale about 2/3 of the way and begin. Just rest and receive that energy change here. Take a nice few steady, even breaths here. Bringing that ujjayi breath, remember that's the sound of the ocean between your ears, almost as if we're fogging a mirror with our mouth closed. We keep the jaw soft in ujjayi breath. We're just kind of habitual jaw clenchers here in this world we're in. So we're going to soften our jaw, roll and rest our shoulders back a little bit here. And so let's go ahead and we'll move into a couple warm-up postures here. We're going to position our blocks one on top of the other here. And we're going to come into that squat position. Feet are going to be just a little bit outside of our hips and pointed towards our tailbone here. And when we go into this posture, we can find ourselves, use our hands to help, and we come into almost as if we're sitting on a curb or on a front step here. We'll find those two sits bones again and make sure that we feel nice and stable. The connective points here are going to be the triangle of our feet from our heel and the two toe balls on each foot, kind of pointing towards our tailbone and our sits bones. So once we feel nice and stable here, what we're going to do is relax our hands down, open and wide. Resting our shoulders here. Just feel soft as you can here for a moment before we move. Couple Ujjayi breaths here as we move into our warm-ups. Let's go ahead and inhale and bring our hands up overhead and just hold them here. Almost as if we're trying to inhale all the way up into our fingertips. Then we're going to exhale and just bring them resting with the exhale, kind of moving with the breath as we go. Really matching our movement with the breath is only going to bring us deeper into the practice. Inhale, as if we're reaching all the way with our breath into our palms and fingertips. And exhaling with our movement, releasing that out through our fingertips down into the earth. Continue at this pace, inhaling, reaching and rising. Exhaling, resting, relaxing the shoulders down, feeling how the shoulders kind of slide down our back here as an extension of our palms and our fingertips. Now let's go ahead and inhale. We'll hold this time as we reach up to the sky. Let's bring palms together and exhale to heart center here. Let's go ahead and bring our elbows just inside our knees here. Now, the further down you go with your hands, the more of a hip opener this becomes. So you kind of have the control over that. Gary's going full Bruce Lee over here, so that's totally fine. Now what we're going to do here, kind of in one motion, is we're going to inhale and reach down with the left and just reach with that inhale with the arm right, as if we're just kind of doing a wide arm stretch, but our left fingertips are just going to gently graze our mat, and our right fingertips are going to reach up and towards the ceiling. Now our gaze can be straight forward or glancing over our right shoulder here. Whatever feels comfortable for you. Let's go ahead and breathe into that lower sacral area, which we're working on today. The center of creativity, manifesting our pure creative essence of who we are. Let's go ahead and exhale, and we'll kind of unfurl from this and bring our hands back to heart center, resting our knees resting our elbows between our knees here. And remember, you control the pace and depth of the stretch here with your hands. Find that Ujjayi breath again. We'll reset ourselves before we go to the other side. When we tune into our breath and we tune into the breath inside the posture, we find that aspiration, that striving within the posture, trying to bring those intentions we planted earlier into reality here. So let's go ahead and we'll inhale and bring that right hand down towards our right foot and bring that left arm open and wide. Our gaze can be forward from our shoulders or over our left shoulder here, whichever feels more stable and comfortable. Learning to breathe while we're opening and expanding, twisting, rolling here. One side is probably easier than the other. This is just how we are as humans. We have one side we favor in our body, so feeling a little less stable on one side is natural, which is why we work both sides. Let's go ahead and on our next natural exhale, exhale and bring those palms back together, elbows inside the knees here. Now I want you to really bring your attention to that sacral space just below the navel, about 3 finger widths below the navel. And what we're going to do is we're going to press into our palms, focusing our breathing towards our sacral area, and we're going to inhale and bring the hands up overhead. We're going to exhale with the movement, pressing into our palms, coming back to heart center. Probably feeling that core working here. Inhale straight forward. Press gently or as firmly as you want into your palms, and that really changes the work here. Go ahead and exhale, bring those hands back to heart center. We're going to go ahead and inhale, arms up overhead again. Try to find softness in your shoulders here if you can. You control the tempo by how hard you press into your palms. So if you need to, you can even have your hands open wide here. Go ahead and exhale, bring your hands back to heart center. Inhale straight forward. Try to see that breath really guiding your motions and movements. Let's go ahead and exhale, bring the palms back to center. Go ahead and press into the palms as gently or firmly as you want, and inhale up overhead. Now from here, bring palms wide and open. We're going to use our thumbs to come right to the end of our collarbones here. You probably recognize this from Kundalini if you've been into that. And our fingertips can kind of just rest here. It looks easy, but it's challenging, right? Okay, this is for everyone. It's challenging for me too. So here we are. We're going to inhale as comfortably and as far as you can towards the left, really just listening to your own stability in your body. We're going to inhale left and exhale and come across right. And we'll keep going at this pace, whichever pace matches your mood and rhythm here. Exhaling, coming across the right. Inhaling, coming across the left. Exhaling right. Inhaling left. And then exhale back to center and stay here for a few breaths. If you need to rest your palms down for a moment, you can, while we get these recovery breaths here for a moment. Really feel that crown rising out of the building here, tailbone, sits bones rooting down towards the core here. And let's go ahead, we'll do the opposite pattern here. We're going to inhale towards the right. And exhale left. Going at our own pace, inhaling right. Exhaling left. On your next exhale, we'll just come back to center. And let's go ahead and move into our next part of the practice, into our full-on asana. Now that we're nice and warmed up, you can use a blanket under your knees here if that's more comfortable for you. If you need to borrow a blanket here, you can. What we're going to do is we're going to actually come into table position. When we're in table, we want to find our palm under our elbow, under our shoulder here, kind of a straight line down here. And our thumbs are kind of pointing at each other, fingers wide apart, creating a nice stable base for you. Remember, we're not trying to overextend. We're actually trying to find what feels good and create stability, okay? You can have toes turned under or tops of feet flat on the mat. Notice it changes the posture a little bit for you here. And what we're going to do is we're going to start just by doing some Marjayasana, cat postures. We're going to press into our palms as if we're pushing the mat away from us and exhale. And notice how that naturally kind of curls that back up. We can call it the black cat postures if you want, because it's October. That'd be spookier for you if you want. And we're going to inhale. We'll pull the mat towards us with our palms. And notice how that rolls the shoulders back and naturally brings our forehead forward here. Inhaling fully here. Kind of feel it right at the top of your chest with your inhale. Go ahead and press into the mat, exhaling. Curling the back up, almost as if you're a scaredy cat here. Really, we're just working through the spine here, inhaling, pulling the palms towards our knees energetically, and notice how that keeps the collarbones wide here. Gaze comes forward into a drishti. Let's go ahead and press into the mat with our palms, exhaling, feeling that connection of our hands all the way to our tailbone here. Let's go ahead and inhale another time, pulling forward, shoulders wide still, collarbones wide, gaze forward. Now press into the mat, exhale and come to neutral, flat back. We're not curling here. We're going to actually come down onto our forearms. Now this is important. We'll get our elbows a little more under our shoulders here if we can. And our fingertips are wide, thumbs pointing towards each other if that feels comfortable. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn our toes under and we're going to press into our feet as if we're pressing all the way up to our crown, and we'll come into dolphin position. From here, we can kind of just walk our legs here a little bit. Feel that stretch. Maybe it loosens up and creates a little more stability with you. And don't forget, your lungs still work here, so breathe all the way to your tail. Keep breathing and feeling that breath working. Picture that sacral region. That's what we're working on, opening up our second chakra. Let's go ahead and exhale at any point, and we can come down, back onto our knees. Forearms are still about shoulder width apart, elbows under shoulders. And we're going to inhale and stretch the left hand forward as much as comfortably possible. And then we're going to rest our forehead on the mat in what's called extended puppy. Maybe you can feel the navel kind of yield in here as we stretch our organs, our lungs, really making space for movement and growth here. It can help to picture our breath in our low back body. Picture inhaling from that low back body all the way up into our shoulders and collarbones. And if it feels more comfortable for you, you can have your palms near your head and forehead, or you can still keep them extended. Either one is acceptable and comfortable for you. And what we're doing here is we're actually working on our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems and regulating all those chemical hormone changes that we go through from seasonal changes. We just went from, Ayurvedically speaking, Pitta season, which is fire held within water, to Vata season, which is air and space. So let's go ahead and bring those palms back under shoulders if they're not already there, and we'll press back into our palms. We'll reset into tabletop here, so knees are right under hips, palms are right under shoulders. Our thumbs are pointing towards each other. And what we're going to do here is we're going to come into Firebird, okay? And I hope you still stay with me next class. So what we're going to do, and you can pick which limb you want to do or both. So we're going to go opposites, right hand forward, left foot back. On our inhale, reach out. And then we're going to exhale and bring elbow to knee. A variation of this is inhaling just the right hand out, and then exhaling and placing it back down, and then inhaling the left leg back, exhaling it back down. You can do it either way. So we'll go ahead and we'll do about 5 of these on the right arm, left leg. So we're going to inhale, right arm forward, left leg back. Exhale. That curl we did earlier to curl our spine up is going to help us bring our right elbow to our left knee, and then we're going to inhale back out here. Exhale, knees to elbow. At any point, come back into tabletop if you need to. Inhaling, reaching that right hand forward, left leg back. Exhaling. Let's do these last 2 at our own pace. When you've completed your last cycle, we're going to actually go ahead and we'll give each other a nice break here and come into child's posture here. This is a nice way to recoup that energy, find that equilibrium back in our energy body. Take a few nice, steady, even-paced breaths, using that Ujjayi breath, the sound of the ocean between the ears. Let's go ahead and we'll walk our hands back under our shoulders here, reset into tabletop. Well, let's just go over the fundamentals again. Our palms want to be under our elbow and shoulder. Our knees are shoulder or hip width apart rather, and under our hips. This is our table, our stability. And from here, what we're going to do, remember you can do one limb at a time if you want, or we'll do both together. So let's go ahead and we'll inhale the left arm forward, right leg back. Exhale, bring them towards our sacral, crossing in our core. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling here. Spine curls up. Exhaling, inhaling, reaching out. Let's exhale. We'll do this last two on our own here. And we'll go ahead and reset. From table, we're going to go ahead and we'll come down into Sphinx posture, okay? Doing okay, Jack? Yep. All right. What we'll do here is the same way we got into extended puppy, we bring those forearms forward, shoulders are still over our elbows. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually from here do forearm plank and just exhale and lower down here. So in Sphinx, elbows actually want to be a little forward from shoulders. We don't want them behind because that's a lot of extra shearing force on our spine. If our elbows are lined up with our shoulder and in front of our shoulder, we can push into the mat almost as if our tailbone is an arrow and we're pushing that tailbone back. Okay, and then you can kind of rock in place, settle yourself in here. And that is the safe way to get into Sphinx. We feel nice and stable here, okay? Palms, fingertips are open wide here and thumbs are pointing towards each other if comfortable. If not, palms and fingertips can be together. So once we're set up into Sphinx here, let's go ahead and just relax and rest that neck down now that we've created a nice cradle for the neck and head. Very rarely does your spine all the way from your tailbone to your crown get to relax and rest. So what we're doing here is we're using our entire rest of our body to allow our spine, neck, and head to relax and rest down here. Kind of just allowing gravity to work, getting our thinking mind out of the way of the future and past thinking. And what I want you to do is picture that breath going all the way down to that sacral region. Remember, just a few fingertips below the belly button is our energetic center of creativity. See if you can really lengthen and deepen your softness here. Try to find those shoulders freeing up from your rib cage here. This is actually a really great shoulder relaxer too. Ujjayi breath is here. That sound of the ocean coming all the way down into your lower belly. And it can help if your forearms are stiff to tent your fingers. What tenting your fingers is just putting your fingertips on the mat, allowing your wrists to relax, forearms to relax. So you can do it either way, palms on the mat or fingertips tented. Take a nice long full exhale. Make sure you're fully exhaled. And then we're going to inhale and try to peek up and over our left shoulder any amount. Go ahead and relax back down to center. This is kind of an eye-opener too, right? If you can't find that range of motion, maybe it can encourage you to just stay with the practice, stay with the softness, really learn which areas are tight that you want to work on, find some flexibility and softness within here, Let's go ahead and on our next natural inhale and try to peek over that right shoulder this time. So for me, I was never able to even get past looking past my elbows 2 years ago. And now I can see my heels behind me. So that is just the power of practice and repetition. And go ahead and relax back down. And if you've had enough of this, which is easy to do, let's go ahead and relax our palms. We'll put our palms one on top of each other here, right under our forehead. And we'll relax our forehead into what's called gator. Let's just take a moment here. We're working hard today. Bring that awareness to between your eye center, your eyebrow center here, to our third eye. Picture that intention you planted earlier and keep believing it's real. Keep bringing it to life with your actions, your intentions, and your attention. This is almost a meditative posture here. See if you can really feel the weight of gravity like a magnet pulling you towards the earth. This is just a part of what keeps elemental yoga very real for me, is the fact that we're all just not flying off into space here. Weighted to the ground. Let's go ahead and bring our palms under our shoulders now as we set up for Bhujangasana or Cobra. And our palms are under shoulders as much as comfortably possible. Elbows are back towards rib cage. And we're going to push into the mat as we inhale and rise up. Any amount that is comfortable with you. There's the baby cobra, the adolescent cobra, the full-grown cobra. Grandpa Cobra's taking a nap. And we're going to just hold as much as you can. And at any point, come back down. Feel that sacral area. That's what we're actually working on here. Let's go ahead and exhale and release. Come back down. We'll find those palms right under shoulders again, just making sure we're nice and stable before we proceed. Let's go ahead and press into our palms, inhaling, bringing that aspiration to search and explore our own limits here. Let's go ahead and exhale back down. We're going to do this one more time. Press into your palms, inhaling, rising up here. And we'll go ahead, exhale down. Now let's go ahead and come back into Gator for a moment. I want to show you that. So palms over each other here. I just want to actually show you something, and then we'll see if the group wants to do it together, okay? I'm going to show you bow posture. So bow actually comes from Sphinx. And so from here, we have whichever hand you feel most stable with, and we'll actually turn back up 1 foot at a time, and we can grab the top of our foot. And if you want to just do one side, this is half bow. Here's the trick, getting the other side. If you want to do both, you do it the same way, except for you have to inhale and hold. You do one at a time, okay? I have to use my right hand here. It seems like one of those postures that's impossible, but it actually is not. So we'll try just one side first and see how that feels. And if it's not comfortable, we'll just move to something else. So we set up like we would for Sphinx. Elbows are just in front of shoulder. Elbows are about shoulder width apart. And whichever side you feel most stable on, we'll use the other hand to grab back. Okay, so the first step is set yourself and feel stable. We'll go ahead and bring whichever foot we want to try with up. And then we'll just inhale and bring that around, and notice how it's kind of amazing that our bodies can do this. And this might be enough, okay? So we can just do this, or even just keeping both feet up together. So if you'd like to experiment, we'll just do one side at a time. And at any point, you can come back into Sphinx and take a rest. But this is really going to widen and open that sacral chakra for you here. All of these are working at the sacrum today. So if you feel like you can't come into this posture, don't worry, you're not missing out on the whole experience. It's just something we're working at. Maybe the other side feels a little more stable for you, so we'll try the other side. And this is just kind of an exploration we're doing here to see what feels good, where we can get ourselves to as we explore. And I'll just offer the next 10 to 15 seconds if you want to do both together. When you have both together, moving your feet down towards the mat brings you up into the full bow. It's pretty amazing that the body can actually do this. I couldn't do this 2 years ago. So we'll just release and exhale and bring ourselves back together here. So from Sphinx, we'll go ahead and at your own pace, we're going to come back up into child's posture and just recover for another moment before we move into a few standing postures, and then we'll cool down at the end here. You guys are doing great, working real hard today. Now, for child's posture, knees can be together, feet can be together, or knees can be about shoulder width apart. Kind of explore your child's posture and find out what feels the most in recovery for you, that your body feels relaxed and rested. Everyone has a little bit of a different child's posture, so find the one that feels the most in a state of recovery for you here. We're going to do some really feel good, relaxing, calming postures to balance it all out here. Let's go ahead at our next moment we feel comfortable too. We'll come up into table again. Kind of notice how you can get to table pretty easy out of child's posture. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to actually extend one foot back and then bring it forward between our arms. We'll extend that back foot and use that to step forward into half fold. Don't come up yet. Let's go ahead and take a nice big inhale. Back is neutral here. Feet feel rooted. Picking toes up here can help root us in. And we're going to exhale down, resting our chest against our thighs, bending at the knees if we need to release any tension. Good job, everyone. All right. Now we're going to inhale, rooting our feet down, inhaling. Let's inhale and keep those fingertips rising. We can bring palms together and exhale back to heart center. You guys did good. It's a really core opening and building set of postures. These are different when we go into the fall, you know, to really wake yourself up. Tamasic energy, there's 3 states of energy. Tamas, which is a state of rest and lethargy. Sound familiar to anyone in the fall? That's the state that's most present in the fall time, is that resting and wanting to kind of just recede and rest. Well, you have to work extra hard to kind of break through that lethargy, okay? Then you get into the next state, which is rajas, or rajasic energy. That's very excited, passionate, explosive energy. Well, you can't just live like that all the time, so you need to focus into the 3rd type of energy, which is sattvic energy, or sattva. That's energy that's in harmony, right? So we've worked through that lethargy, we've excited our energy, and now we're going to focus it back with that sattvic energy in this last group of postures here, okay? We'll pick our toes up, feet are about shoulder width apart. Rooting here, yielding. By yielding, we're just feeling gravity, feeling our stability here. Shoulders relax and rest back. We all have a tendency to lean forward in life. So let's relax the shoulders, palms come down and open here, and we'll do a couple half sun salutations. Inhaling up. We'll exhale and make space first, and then we'll come down. Just go ahead and inhale halfway up here. Palms of your hands are just on top of your knees here. Not really pressing, but just holding space. We'll exhale down, really letting gravity hold you down here in a good way, lengthening and stretching. Release the neck here if you haven't already. We'll go ahead and yield back down as we inhale and rise up. Hands can come to center by exhaling back to heart space. This is that full body energy, relaxing and releasing hands down. Let's go ahead and inhale up overhead. Maybe you can feel how the shoulders really connect all the way up to the fingertips here. We'll exhale and make space. Then we come down as we yield our belly button towards our spine, making space to curl down into our Uttasana, forward fold. We're going to inhale and only rise halfway up here, Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Just go ahead and exhale back down. On our next moment, inhale, press down into our feet, matching our movement with our breath. Let's inhale and reach here, really reach, hold and inhale. We'll exhale, arms wide, relax them down. We've already done a lot of twisting and moving at the core here, right? Just do one more, and then we'll come back down onto our backs, okay? You guys are great. Let's go ahead and we'll reset those fundamentals. We'll get our toes picked up in the air, rooting our feet down. When we feel rooted there, we can find our top half of center of gravity, relaxing shoulders back, palms open. We're going to inhale up and sit down as if we're coming into Utkatasana. Now maybe you want to just stay here, spine going down in a way, crown opposite energy that keeps your spine lengthy and locked in. Okay, find that Ujjayi breath here. If you want to stay here or come back up into Tadasana, you can, or we'll bring our hands to heart center. And we're going to exhale and bring that left elbow across to right knee. Yep, and try to find your palms in front of your nose line. And that brings yourself into a little more center alignment. Great job. At any point, we can come back by exhaling to center. Stay as long as you need to here. We're going to still root our feet down. Tail is reaching down with our heels here. Crown is rising. We're going to inhale and press down as we rise. Palms to center and exhale. Take a few breaths here, just relaxing and resting for a moment. Tadasana is also a resting posture here. I didn't mean literally, Gary. You don't have to take a nap. Standing nap. Let's inhale, arms come up overhead again, reaching. We'll exhale and sit back down, hands come to heart center. Now try this, twist first and then do the elbow down, and that might help keep you in posture here. And what we'll do here is we'll just pick a focal point, listen to our breath. Our stability from our feet to our tail is what's going to keep us grounded and rooted here. Now let's go ahead and exhale, come back to center, gaze is forward, release hands down, and inhale as we press our feet into the mat. We'll inhale and rise up. Hands come to heart center as we exhale, past heart, and just release here. Great working, everyone here. We started about 3-4 minutes late, so if that's all right, I'm going to go a little beyond here. Let's use our half sun salutation to come into our seated posture. So we'll inhale and rise up here. We'll exhale first, feel the belly yield back towards the spine, and then we come down here. That's called our Mula Bandha, our lower energy center. Then we're going to press into our feet and inhale halfway up. We're kind of like a human bike pump here. We're just inhaling, exhaling, really charging our body here. Let's go ahead and exhale down and use your own intuition to safely find your way onto your sits bones. And from our sits bones, we can extend our feet out. Palms can come behind us here, or facing forward, either towards the back of the mat or front of the mat. And we're just going to use that to bring our heels under our knees and walk ourselves back into supine, rather. So from here, we want to have our ankles under our knees if we can. See if you can soften your shoulders and feel them sink into the mat a little more here. Find that Ujjayi breath, that victorious uprising breath, the sound of the ocean between our ears here. Arms are wide if you'd like, or they can be down by our side. And what we're going to do here is we're going to, on our next exhale, we'll bring our knees towards the ground on our right side. So it's just a supine twist, bringing knees towards the mat. If you need a block here to help hold your knee up so you can't get all the way down in the twist, a block can be under your knee here if it helps. And then we're going to just slightly reach that right hand down towards the left, or down towards our knees, and bring our left arm up just a little. Kind of like those first stretches we were doing on the block where one hand goes towards the knee, the other hand goes up and away. So right hand towards our knees, left hand reaching up and away. And now our gaze comes towards our left palm. So our gaze is opposite our knees here. And this is really a full spine twist, supine twist here. Breathe deep into that lower sacral region we've been working on. Remembering the full length of our breath here, okay? Readjust and reset yourself if you have to find softness in this posture, okay? You guys are working real hard today. You're doing a great job. We'll go ahead and inhale. With that inhale, use that to bring the knees back to center. Arms go wide at a T again, almost as if we're reaching to opposite sides of the wall here. Let's reset those ankles under knees if they've come out of place a little. Let's just kind of rock back and forth. We'll windshield wiper our knees here just to recenter our spine. Feel how that relates to our shoulders anchoring us down. And then we'll reset our knees into center, ankles under knees. And on our next exhale, we'll exhale and release those knees down to the left. Left hand reaches towards the knee. Right hand reaches away from left hand, opposite. And our gaze comes across our body to the right, towards our right palm. Take a nice breath here, breathing all the way deep into our lower back body. This is also a position that'll kind of bring those tight spots to the forefront. Breathe your intuition and your seeing mind into those tight spots. Inhale at the tight spot. Exhale and release any tightness. Inhale at the tightness. Exhale at the tightness, releasing that tightness away and out of the body. Inhale, soothing, softening those tight spots. Exhaling, releasing any extra tightness here. On our next inhale, use that inhale to bring the knees back up to heart center, back in line with our heart, in our center and energy line. Let's go ahead and we'll inhale at our next natural inhale and bring the knees towards chest here. Hands can be in front of knees or in back of thighs, whichever is more comfortable. Take some nice, deep, low belly breaths here. We can gently rock a little bit side to side. We feel those two longitudinal muscles on either side of the spine that go from hips to shoulders, massaging those a little bit with this rocking motion, relaxing and releasing our back here. Now we can kind of come in one motion with inhaling, releasing the arms to a T, inhaling those ankles and heels straight to the sky here. If this needs a little bit of support, you can bring your hands behind thighs to help here. And what we're doing is we're picturing our focus and our energy rising out of our heels towards the sky here, and that'll help keep our core engaged, keep ourselves rooted as we rise. Now in this posture, tune back into the softness of your breath, breathing at our belly space here now. And when you feel you've had enough out of this posture, we're going to come down into Shavasana, which is our legs extended on the ground, corpse position, just relaxing and resting. We can change it to zombie position if you want, in honor of October. And we'll just relax and rest here, soothing, feeling the weight of the mat underneath us here. No more control over the breath. No more thoughts about the motion and movement. Just relaxing, integrating all of that energy we moved around today. Allowing peace and harmony, that sattvic energy we worked on. We broke away from the tamasic lethargy. We excited the energy in our rajasic state. And now we've moved into sattvic energy, energy and harmony. One of the tools for clearing your mind is mala chanting or reciting mantras. So I'm going to introduce you to one that's been really powerful for me. It's the Om Kling Mahakale Namaha, or Om to Mother Kali, remover of all obstacles, seen and unseen, we bow to thee. I'll chant this 9 times. You just have to kind of keep your mind in receptive mode and feel, hear, and sense the vibration of it. Om Kling Mahakale Namaha. 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 And the mantra, single word mantra for the sacral chakra is Lam. I'm going to chant this as well 9 times, asking for our sacral chakra, our creative center, to be open and creative. Lam, 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 Lam. And we'll end this practice with one final mantra. Again, the Gayatri mantra, calling for our mind, body, and intellect to be inspired by the creative power of the universe. Om Bhurбhuvasvaha Tat Savator Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Demahi Dio Yona Prachodaya Om. I can start to move our fingers and toes if we want to, or stay in Shavasana, absorbing the energy. We begin to turn our fingers and toes, moving our arms and legs. Maybe we do a nice stretch like we would before getting out of bed here. can turn to our right side here. And if you pick left, I won't judge. It's okay. Whichever side you've picked, we can just stay here and use that next breath to come into our seat. Let's go ahead and take a nice drink of water if we want to. We'll find those sits bones again. Let's take a nice big inhale and reach that inhale up. Bring hands to palms, back to heart center on our exhale. I'd like to thank you all for showing up for yourselves today. When we show up for ourselves, we show up for each other. And when we show up for each other, we show up for our friends and our family and our community. We all share together. So thank you for being here, and thank you for the ability to practice with you all. Hope you all have a great day. Namaste. Great to practice with you today. Thank you all.
I won't feel that tomorrow.
You'll feel it maybe later today or tomorrow, but then Monday you're going to feel fantastic. Hopefully you feel great all day. Yeah, that sacral set of postures is kind of a group of postures and muscles you're not used to using, you know, or you use and you don't even think about. Yeah.
Easier either to breathe when I'm turning.
That's great. Yeah, that was one of the hardest parts, is still finding movement in the twists and breathing.
Still a little struggle, but it's
Yeah.
easier.
That's that conditioning to get your lungs to work even under stress and even while working, you know. We tend to just shut off our deep breathing, you know.
Yeah.
But if you can start any kind of activity just by tuning into your breath, that breath is really going to keep you very vital within your movements. So
And it's watching what I'm eating too lately.
that's good.
Really watching everything. Noticing that